guys, so I want to talk really quick about puddle jumpers. Those are the floaties that you'll see my kids wearing all the time. They are floaties around the arms. You don't have to blow them up. They're an existing thing, and they have one across the front. They are designed for children. They're supposed to be from 30 to 50 pounds, so like they still fit my kids easily. We actually put Sophie in hers before she was 30 pounds, so I'm not telling you to do that. You shouldn't do that. But we did it, and it was fine. The reason I like them is I actually did lifeguard when I was younger, and I can tell you guys from my experience with watching kids swim and blah, 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 is that these things are great. The reason I love them so much, and we've been using them since, like, now you see them everywhere, but when we got them for Sophie, you could hardly find them. I mean, they would show up at a store and they would be gone, and you just didn't see them, but now they're so much more readily available. You can find them everywhere. They, sometimes they're... Some of them now, like, they range in price. You can get them from, like, you know, 20 bucks all like to 30. You can get them on sale, blah, blah, blah. When they first came out, they were all $30. They were like $29.99 or whatever. They all cost that. And now they have different ones. Some of them have these, like, 3D face things on the face, on the chest part, and I think that's actually kind of unattractive. Like, I don't love that. I'm sure kids do, but I'm like, I don't love it. I'm like always wondering how that feels when the kid's like practicing swimming, but whatever. But they're really cool because a child, if you put it on your little kid who's like, you know, little and maybe only so-so at swimming or whatever, they do have to learn still how to hold themselves up in water even while wearing them. So I can tell you from someone who's actually like taught some swimming before and worked with kids when they're swimming that that's one thing I really liked. It's not like the round floaties where the floaties are doing it. These, like, the children still have to learn the proper positioning of themselves in the water. So I thought that was, I really like that. Like, you'll see some children get in them and they take them right away and they have no problem. Some kids, like Sophie, it actually, because part of it was probably because she was a little young for it, but it took her not too long, one or two of the times of swimming with it to like realize how she had to adjust in it. But that was good because that was like, you know, like helping her learn how to swim earlier than a lot of other kids. And so I really like them. Kyle and I are really, really, really strict about water safety. We just think that that is one of those things that you cannot, it's like car safety. If your kid is going to have an accident or be hurt, statistically speaking, it's in the car or in a swimming pool or in water of any kind. Statistically speaking, like, those are the type of like external accidents that are more likely than a lot of other things. And so it's like we always say, like, that's where you should focus. Like, you don't want to do the bare minimum in car seat safety, and you don't want to do the bare minimum in pool safety in terms of, like, you know. So with us, Kyle and I, it's always been really important to us that the kids are exposed to water, that they learn how to be independent in the water, but at the same time very respectful of it. That's one thing we see a lot. I have several friends whose children, they can swim, and they can, but and Sophie does this too, so I'm not knocking these other people's kids. Sophie does the same thing, it drives us crazy. But their swimming involves a lot of like bobbing up and down, gasping for breath, things like that. And it's because they're overconfident in the water. And Kyle and I were always like, I don't like seeing that. You know, I just don't like seeing it. So basically, these puddle jumpers to me were just fantastic because they were a safety thing that Sophie and Grayson could wear, and eventually Audrey will wear one too. But that still allowed them to learn the proper, like, how to swim. Like, we could work, you know, Grayson for a long time just would kind of bob in his. He still had to learn how to support himself upright. But then he eventually, you know, we got him learning how to do proper swimming techniques, and, you know, and now he's not even quite 3 yet. If we take it off of him, he can paddle around a little bit by himself. And I know a lot of it has to do with the confidence and the technique that he learned while using the floaty. So that's great. And then Sophie, of course, she doesn't really need one anymore, but we still kind of will sometimes. We have a very, like, you know, like I said, the kids are not allowed in the water unless there's an adult in the pool with them, period. I don't care. Sophia can swim from one side of an extraordinarily long pool. She can go all the way from one end, all the way to the next end, come all the way back. And she can even do most of it underwater. She is a unbelievable swimmer. You know, we put her in private lessons for 1 month, and they told us that she didn't really need lessons anymore because she started her lessons and could already swim. They have these, you know, tests so that the kids can do water slides by themselves and things like that, and she passed it on the second day, the second time she took a class. So I mean, by all means, I don't want to sell my kid short, but I think just because your kid is good in the water, you can't let your guard down, because so many kids drown in water who parents are like, they knew how to swim. You can't do it. So we used those puddle jumpers with Sophie. Even this summer, we were still making her put them in. If she wanted to get in the water and if there was not an adult in the water with her, she had to have it on with one adult watching her. And yeah, I know that seems a little like strict, but that's just, I don't know. So I love those puddle jumpers. I love these things. And so I love them so much. And I think that they were so helpful in teaching our kids, you know, how to be confident in the water, but at the same time respectful, and helping them learn how to swim. And they really were a good transition from, you know, assisted swimming to unassisted swimming. And Kyle and I went out and we bought one. We spent our own money. We are not sponsored by this company. They don't know where they're making this. We went and bought one, and to give away to you guys, because I really like them. So I thought, you know, yay. So you guys can enter to win below. Just leave a comment, and one entry per person. If you enter multiple times, I just delete the extra ones, and I'm going to choose someone from random. You can enter and we'll send you one. It's like I said, they're for children 30 to 50 pounds. We put in Sophie and her, like I said, we put her and Grayson and them a little younger than that. I can't recommend it because I can't do that, but that's what we did. And then my kids aren't even, you know, Sophia's not even close to 50 pounds yet. So, you know, she could still use it. But like now, like I said, we finally gotten to the point where we're not making her use it. But we still keep it around just in case, because better safe than sorry. And yeah, and you know, you'll hear a lot of people. I hear this a lot. I hear this a lot from people who've had no experience teaching children. So sometimes I'm like, you don't know, but about, oh, well, floaties actually can hinder a child from learning how to swim and blah, blah, blah. That is absolutely not true. Sure, I guess if you put your kid in a round ring and they never ever get experience, then in that aspect, they can be hindered by learning how to swim. But that's really more the parent's fault, not the floatie's fault. Do you know what I mean? So, like, if you're using a floatie and you're putting your kid in a floatie, but then you also take them out and help work with them on their own, they're going to learn how to swim just as much. And also, you're helping them. A lot of children, even really brave children, are nervous in water. I see a lot of parents who just, like, they will literally gripe at their 2-year-old because their 2-year-old's too scared to dump off the side of the pool. And you're kind of like, that's so normal. Don't force them, you know? The old, like, you know, a lot of people will tell the stories about, like, well, I learned how to swim because my granddad threw me off of a dock and told me sink or swim, and and I get it, like that can work, but that's not really my method to teach my kids. And so I wanted my kids to enjoy swimming, not have it be a shocking thing. I wanted them to respect the water, and I wanted them to be confident, but at the same time, I wanted them to be really safe. So, yes, I think that these are great. These are a really good thing. They help your kid be safer. They help you as a parent be able to relax a little, while at the same time knowing that your kid is in a flotation device that they still have to do kind of a normal swimming technique to actually swim. And I don't know, I really like these. So yeah, so enter below to win. Like I said, 1 entry per person, and in a week or so or less, we'll figure it out. I'll just pick a winner and I'll send it to you, so you still have time to use it this summer. I want to get that sent off because I want it to be utilized. And I will ship internationally, so if you're someplace where it's cold, you can just save it for the summer there, and if you win, it'd be awesome. So there we go. That's my spiel on water safety and all that stuff too. I just don't have enough good things to say about them. I think they were great. And I can tell you they absolutely will not hinder your child from learning how to swim. Only you can hinder your child from learning how to swim. So when people say that, like, flotation devices can, you know, hinder a child swimming, that's only if the parent is only leaving the child in the flotation device. It's on the parent, not the device, you know what I mean? So All right, you guys, there you go. Enter to win it below. They're called puddle jumpers. They're super cute. I did not buy one with little 3D faces because, like I said, those things just kind of bother me. Every time I see them, I'm like, they just don't look super attractive. I know kids probably just love them, so that's what really matters. But to me, I'm like, no, I just got you guys a good old normal one. All right, so enter below to win a puddle jumper of your own. And I'm not gonna take the time to enter in a bunch of footage of my kids wearing them, but if you watch our daily vlogs or you've seen our Instagram photos, you've probably seen our kids wearing them so many times. So you can like just search through that to like see some live action shots of that. And that's it. All right, you guys. I'll talk to everybody later. Bye.